There we go. I wonder if... As long as my phone stays there, that might actually help my voice be heard a little bit more. Frequently, it has been noted in previous streams that my sound quality is not the best, and I do obviously apologise for that. But hopefully today it'll be a little bit better. Hello everyone, welcome back. If you were part of the previous stream that just ended, we are finished playing Portal 2 for today, but there'll be more of that next week, so thank you for coming along. Now though, we're back to the usual Q&A portion of the stream that I like to do. Whether it'll be half an hour, an hour and a half, I don't know. We'll just keep going until we've had enough of it. Hello, Aquarius Lady. Hi, how are you doing today? So I was just saying, can I listen to Paranoid by Ken Carson, best song? I'll give it a try. Thank you. Yeah, I was just saying, hopefully you can hear my voice a little bit clearer today, because normally my phone is just stood straight up on my desk and the speaker's quite muffled, but it's raised up a little bit today. So hopefully, like I say, my voice might be a little bit clearer. Probably not the clearest it could possibly be, but, you know, it's an improvement. My phone doesn't have the best mic anyway. Bobby Ayers says, bloke in a wig. Let me just approve that comment. This is not a wig. This is my real hair, but thank you for saying so. How's the unicycle going, asks Zoe. It's going well-ish. I'll be honest, I haven't really made much progress since the last update. As I mentioned before, it's kind of stagnated a bit. Like the first week or so, I was making really great progress, but then once I reached about 6 meters, it started to sort of plateau, and I haven't really been able to get any further than that so far. But I am getting there. I'm also starting to learn how to launch off without holding on to anything, because obviously when I first started I was like holding on to the wall to push myself away from. I'm trying to get out of that as early as possible so it doesn't become something that I rely on. I want to be able to, you know, just start riding straight from a stand. So cold edits, please stop spamming hi. How did I build up the courage to come out, if you don't mind me asking? Well, good question. I can't really explain. It was sort of the thing is, my parents, I already kind of knew that they would be accepting. So, you know, when I wasn't too worried about coming out to them because I kind of knew that they were going to be okay about it. It was just I still got nerves though. It was still, yeah. When, on the day that I came out, I might have told this story before, but on the day that I came out, I said to my stepmom, "I've got something to tell you," and she said, "You know, that sounds like something big. I'll go and make us a cup of tea." And then while she was making a cup of tea, I snuck upstairs and got myself dressed up. You know, put on my feminine clothes and a little bit of makeup. And so, because I thought, you know, rather than tell her, I'll show her, right? It was a big risk, very risky thing to do, but I did it. And I came downstairs looking like this, and I just stepped out into the living room, and I said, this is me. This is who I am. And she was very nice about it. We had a little bit of a cry. But it was a very, very lovely, wholesome family moment. Everyone was, yeah, it was strange. There was a lot of working up the courage was difficult. I did spend a lot of time just sort of sat there in the bathroom thinking, right, can I actually do this? I was waiting to go downstairs to finally tell her, and I was just sat on the bathroom floor thinking, you know, I can't do this. What if I tell her and she takes it the wrong way? But it's kind of one of those things where you just have to swallow your nerves and just do it. And I did it, and I got lucky, and she was great about it, and everyone else in the family was as well. Who did I tell it to? It was my stepmom was the first one that I came out to. Chloe says, proud of you. Thank you, Chloe. I hope you're doing well. Been a long time. Did I feel a massive relief when I said? Yeah, it was a huge weight off my chest. The thing is as well, I might have mentioned this before, when I came out, I still wasn't 100% sure if I was definitely trans. I was thinking about it and I was questioning it. And I thought the best thing to do was to tell my parents what I was going through, right? Rather than let it go for months and months and then tell them, I thought, right, I need to know if they're going to accept this or not. So I'm going to tell them straight away, just so I know where I stand. And so when I first came out, I wasn't actually 100% sure if I was definitely trans. It was like, I was pretty sure, but I'd rather they know that I was having those feelings. So yeah, that's how that happened. Did anyone in my family take it poorly? No. I've been very lucky. Everyone in my family has been incredible about it. Obviously, my heart goes out to those of you who have less accepting families. I know it is a huge problem, and you know, for me, again, I've just been incredibly lucky that my family have been so okay about it. But yeah, I understand how hard it can be. What age did I come out? I came out in 2021, so just under 3 years ago. Do I have a wig? Nope, this is my real hair. That's really on there. Did I have breast augmentation surgery? No, I did not. These are actually not real, they're foam. But one day, we'll get the real thing. Am I transgender? Yes, I am. Am I going to change my voice? Yes, I do plan on doing voice training at some point. I've looked at the basics of it. I understand the principles of what needs to be done, but actually taking that first step and doing it is a very difficult thing to do. It's a long journey. That's the thing. Did I have lip filler? Do I have lip filler? No, I don't actually have lip filler. These are my natural lips. I do overline them a little bit just to make them look a bit fuller, but there's no actual filler in there. Can I give you a sneak peek of the woman's voice? As I say, I really don't have one at the minute. I've mostly been doing the vocal warm-ups and vocal exercises to try and get into it. But in terms of the actual voice, I've made literally no progress, because the thing that I struggle with is actually applying the theoretical, right? I understand the theory, I understand what parts of your mouth you have to move in a certain way to make those noises. I just can't actually do them. So yeah, in theory terms, I know what has to be done, but in practice, I struggle to actually do it. But yeah, for now, this is the voice I'm stuck with. It will eventually change, but not without a lot of practice. He's from Disney. Okay. Strange thing to comment. Have I had surgery? Asks Lightning. No, I have not. As far as I know, E helps with the voice pitch too. So it might help very minorly, but for the most part, estrogen doesn't actually change the voice of trans women. Because of the way that your vocal cords work, testosterone loosens them, which is why male puberty causes your voice to deepen, but estrogen can't tighten them back up. So it doesn't really do much to change the pitch of your voice. If you want to have a feminine voice, unfortunately, you've just got to do voice training. Where did the chest come from? From Amazon, actually. It's just foam padding, basically. Have I got a spider? I don't have a spider at the minute. I am getting a spider. I've spoken about it before in previous streams. At the end of the month, I am going to be getting myself a brand new jumping spider. I've kept jumping spiders before. They're really cool. They're really intelligent. They're really cute. I'd love to get another one, and I'd love to be able to talk about them as well and make videos about them, because it's one of those hobbies that I am very much eager to share with you. So, what is a jumping spider? They're the spiders with the really big eyes. You've probably seen them before. They can jump, hence the name. All spiders can jump, technically, but jumping spiders jump a lot more. If you've heard of Lucas the spider, the animated character, he's a jumping spider, and they are really cool. They are the most amazing spiders out there. And yeah, like I say, at the end of the month I will be getting one, and there will be videos about it. So if you're interested in spiders, come along and watch. If you're not interested in spiders and you are in fact scared of them, then don't watch. They not venomous. So some of them are, but for the most part they are harmless. And the thing about spiders is, as well, the vast majority of them, especially in this country, but spiders in general, they're very reluctant to bite. They're more likely to flee, right? They're just like us. They have a fight or flight response, and 90% of the time, if they can get away, they will. If they can run away and get out of the corner that they're trapped in, they will. They don't really bite unless it's the last option. Like with a bee won't sting you unless it has no other option, and the same goes for a spider biting you. As long as you're gentle with them and you don't make them feel trapped and cornered, they won't bite. Bees will sting. Yeah, again though, bees don't just sting for no reason. They sting when they feel threatened, right? Which is the point I'm trying to make, is if you want a bee to sting you, you have to really, corner it. Apple user says, not to be rude, what are your pronouns? My pronouns are she and her. Thank you for asking. Boy or girl? I'm a girl. I'm a woman. Have I had full surgery? I haven't had any surgery, actually. Don't get why you get so much hate when you're just having a good time. No, honestly, that's the thing that it makes me laugh, because I'm just sat here having fun, laughing and smiling and answering questions, and people really think that they're doing something when they leave troll comments. It doesn't work. How's your day going? My day's going fine, Finn. Thanks for asking. I've played a bit of Portal 2, which was very fun. And, well, that's pretty much all I've done for today. I've recorded a video for tomorrow, which hopefully will be going up. It kind of depends how this stream goes, to be brutally honest, but we'll see. Do I play Fortnite? I am not a Fortnite player, no. Do I stay on live all day? No, I usually stream for about 2 to 3 hours, 3 times a week. So, definitely not all day. Hey, how are you? Hey, Kate. I'm fine. How are you? It's not trolling, it's the mainstream opinion. See how your choice ages. It is trolling, and it's definitely not the mainstream opinion. The mainstream opinion is very much on the side of trans people. I have met countless people at work, at home, family, friends, colleagues, strangers, and I've literally never received anywhere near the amount of transphobia that I've received online. So, yeah, it very much is not a majority opinion. You are just being a troll. And as I say, it won't work. How do you pronounce Saul? Like that, Saul. Saul. It's like Paul, but with an S. Was I depressed before I transitioned? No, not particularly. I've never been depressed. I wasn't depressed before. I'm not depressed now. I'm happier, but that doesn't mean that I was depressed before. I was happy before, and I'm happier now. Do I work with children? No. Why not get voice surgery? Because there's no need. I can achieve the results that I want with voice feminization. What's the word? I can just do it with a lot of practice. So like, there's not really any need to do surgery. Voice training will be enough. Hopefully. NHS won't pay for voice surgery. I've literally just said that I'm not getting surgery anyway, so it's irrelevant whether they'll pay for it or not. Voice training with 3 laughing emojis. Yes, voice training. It's what you call when you. It's what you call it when you train your voice to sound different. You know, people do it all the time. Like, it's a very commonly done thing. Not just trans people. Like, the vast majority of actors have the ability to put on different voices, and they do that. They have that ability through voice training. It's a very common thing that people do. Do I have a piece? A piece of what? After voice training, do you have to think about doing the voice, or does it become second nature? So from what I've heard, it's kind of you have to consciously do it. Again, I don't really know because I haven't done any voice training yet. But yeah, from what I've heard, you do have to like sort of make a conscious effort to keep using that voice. Maybe after a while, you get used to it and you just instinctively use your new voice. But I wouldn't know. What did my family say? My family were very nice about it. My so I've mentioned before, I came out to my parents first, and then my brothers and sisters, and then my extended family, aunts and uncles, grandparents, and so on and so forth. And everyone was really great about it. Everyone's been so open and accepting. At what age did I transition? In 2021. That's when I first came out. Can I ask why? Um, because I'm happy. That's as simple as it sounds. That's the best answer that I can give. I feel more fulfilled and more content with who I am now than I did before. Again, not to say that I was unhappy before, but it's kind of like I was comfortable, if that makes sense. Like, I was content with who I was, but I wasn't like fulfilled, if that makes sense. And I feel like a lot of trans people have a similar experience. Like, you don't necessarily hate what you were before, but it's like you were comfortable with that because you didn't realize how much better it could be. You know what I mean? And I feel the same way about myself. I feel like the way that I was before, I was happy, but only because I hadn't realized how much happier it was possible to be. And now I've achieved that, and I realize just how much happier I am now and how much more fulfilled and content I am now than I was before. So you did it for attention. Literally not one single word of what I just said implies that. Are there mods in this live? There are. My wonderful mod, Aquarius Lady, is here at the minute, helping me out, deleting some of the troll comments. Valentine says, I agree with the hosts. With the host, I'm going through the same feelings of fulfillment. Yeah, that's, again, I think that's the best way to look at it. There's a lot of talk in the trans community about gender dysphoria. And while it is a real thing, and while many trans people have that, you know, the idea of staying as their old selves, like, is genuinely debilitating, not every trans person has that same experience. And I personally don't think I have what I would call gender dysphoria. There are certainly things that could be compared to it. There's a lot of things about my pre-transition self that I felt uncomfortable with. But I don't know if I'd necessarily call it gender dysphoria. But I'm still trans because what I do experience every day that I'm like this is gender euphoria. Which, again, I'm sure a lot of trans people out there will know what I'm talking about. Some of the non-trans people in the audience might not necessarily get that, but if you are trans, you know, you'll know exactly what experience I'm talking about. You'll know how it feels to just be able to look at yourself and know that that's who you really are. That's who you were supposed to be this whole time. How do my parents feel? My parents feel really great about it. Do people ever get your gender mixed up? Yeah, they do, but that's, you know, that's for obvious reasons. Again, I don't hide the fact that I'm trans. I am very open and upfront about it. You can tell. I know you can tell. No matter how many times you comment, I can tell. I'm aware of the fact that you can tell. I already know that. So yes, people do, obviously, when they see me, they don't necessarily know what I am, which is why they ask, and I tell them, and then they are okay with it. 99% of the time. Do people ever judge you? Not out loud. They might judge me in here. You know, I certainly get looks when I'm out and about, but people don't actually say things. Like, people don't shout stuff at me in the street, right? Even if they might give me a little bit of a side eye. Nobody's actually ever said anything to me. I would say it to your face. No, you wouldn't. You literally wouldn't. Like, genuinely, anyone who leaves a troll comment on this live stream, you just wouldn't say it to my face. I know you wouldn't. Don't pretend that you would. How tall am I? I am 5'6". Have I still got the bits below? Yeah, I do. I'm not going to show you because it's against terms of service, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Why is Pride a month and Remembrance a day? Do you agree? So in the United States, May is actually Military Appreciation Month. So yeah, the military have literally just had a month that's just ended. People conveniently ignore that when it's Pride Month, you know, but it is a thing. How am I? I'm good, thanks for asking, Cam. June is Men's Mental Health Month. Yes, June is also Men's Mental Health Month. Months can be multiple things. Lots of different things can happen and be equally important on any given month. Am I in a school? I'm in my bedroom. What age did I come out? 22, 3 years ago. Why did you do it? Because it makes me happy. So clear, a bloke. Again, I don't try. There's literally a trans pride flag there. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. If you want to comment, oh yeah, I can tell. I know you can tell. I don't care that you can tell. Was it a COVID phase or do I not regret it yet? So it wasn't a COVID phase, and I definitely don't regret it yet. Maybe I will one day. Who knows? I prefer to look at the present, and right now I'm literally happier than I've ever been in my life. So if I one day regret it in the future, it won't undo the happiness that I feel right now. Was I nervous about getting plastic surgery? I haven't had any plastic surgery, and I don't plan to. How did they make your balloons? This is padding. It's just padding. But one day, with a little dose of estrogen, they will manifest and become real. What is happiness to you? That's a pretty big question to ask in a TikTok live stream. I think, you know, I am happy. I don't really think I can describe the concept of happiness in a TikTok live stream. We all know what happy means, I'm sure. I wouldn't be happy if I were you. Well, you're not me. Am I a teacher? No, I am not a teacher. Adam's apple, yep, take a good long look. Once again, there it is for the world to see. I think you'll agree it's quite a big one. What are my pronouns? She and her. Thank you for asking. Surely you don't agree with furries. I don't know why I wouldn't agree with furries. It's just a form of cosplay, right? Like, that's like saying, do I disagree with people dressing up as Batman at conventions? You know, I don't have any problem with it at all. Am I okay? I'm better than okay. I'm absolutely fine. Which toilets do you use? The one in my house. Is my dad present in my life? Yes, my dad's very present in my life. In fact, I see him every weekend. I went to see him yesterday. Furries actually think they're animals, though. No, they don't. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to. You know, make this whole chat a discussion about furries, but I do want to just make it clear for the record. I know people who are furries, and no, furries do not think they are actually animals. That's a myth. Pineapple belong on pizza? Yes, it does. Controversial, but I am a pineapple on pizza enjoyer. Do I agree with Therians? Isn't that just the same thing, as far as I'm aware, as furries? I'm not an expert on furries, so please, you know, can we stop asking questions about furries? Actually, no. Right. While we're on the topic of pineapple on pizza, I'm going to go one step further and say something really controversial. I like peach slices on pizza. Yes, tinned peach slices on pizza. Beautiful. I know I'm going to get some hate for that, but it is. Oh, they are good. Trust me. If you like pineapple on pizza, try peach slices. You will not regret it. Will I get voice surgery? No. I'm planning on doing voice training, but not surgery. What age did I come out? 22, which was 3 years ago. My friend has banana on her pizza. I don't think I'd go for banana. I might be inclined to try it, but I've never tried banana on pizza. I've tried banana with peanut butter in a sandwich. It makes a very nice sandwich, peanut butter and banana can recommend that as well. Am I blocking people every time I touch the screen? No, I'm actually scrolling back to see some of the previous comments. If you see me touching the screen, it's usually because a comment went past and I want to go back and see what it was. Love the dude acting like he can't see us all chatting mad shit. I can see you, I'm just ignoring you. What does melt mean and why are people saying it? Melt's just another word for idiot. It's British slang for idiot. Love your top. Where is it from? If you don't mind me asking. This is, I think this one's from Pretty Little Thing. I don't know, and I can't really check because I'm wearing it, but this one I'm pretty sure is Pretty Little Thing. I get quite a lot of my clothes from Pretty Little Thing because they've always got sales on. They've always got like massive 70% discounts and whatever. So yeah, great place to get clothes. Harry Potter fan, ex Harry Potter fan, for obvious reasons. We'll leave it at that. Your hair's really nice. Thank you very much. This is my natural hair. I've been growing this for about 3.5 years. Do I like football? I don't like football myself, but people in my family do. My dad is a Newcastle supporter. Am I in a relationship? Not right now. Yeah, my dad, big Newcastle fan. Do I like biking? I do like biking. I also hopefully will be able to enjoy unicycling soon when I've learned how to ride it. If you haven't seen my previous streams, I do own a unicycle, which is over there in the corner, and I've only had it for about 2 weeks, so I'm still learning to ride it. But you know, hopefully one day I'll get good at it. Am I at uni? No. So I am actually a post grad. I finished uni about 4 years ago, 2020, with a degree in computer science. Do I live in Britain or the US? I live in Britain. What's my name? My name is Saul. Road biking or mountain biking? I prefer road biking just because I live in quite a small village, so there's a lot of like country lanes and stuff to ride about on. Um, there's not really any mountainous terrain near me, so don't have much chance to do mountain biking. Um, and I prefer to stay on level ground anyway. I'm not too good with hills. When did I come out? In 2021. Favorite type of country food: Cuban, Chinese, etc. So my favorite country's food is probably Japan. I've mentioned in previous streams that I'm a bit of a Japan fan, and there's a map of Japan on my wall behind me there. I love sushi, katsu curry, massively into katsu curry. Um, Japanese food is definitely, it's up there. It's up there. Although I'm a big fan of Indian as well. I really love Indian food. You know, in the UK, obviously, Indian takeaway is very common. And I know it's not authentic Indian food, but it is widely available. And yeah, I love a good Indian. What country am I from? I'm from the UK. Am I trans female? Yes, I am. I am a trans woman. The UK isn't a country. The UK is a country. What part of the UK? I'm from England. How tall am I? I'm 5'6". The UK is not a country. Again, I don't know where you're getting this misinformation from. The UK is a country. It has a seat at the United Nations. I don't know if you are familiar, but there are multiple definitions of country, and the UK is a country which contains England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, which are also countries. Okay, please, right. Please stop saying the UK isn't a country. This is like very common knowledge that the UK is a country. Okay, right. Let's try and steer the conversation back to a different topic because clearly people are really not going to let this UK thing go. They're really clinging on to it. I'm sorry that you don't know what a country is. Not my fault. Favorite food? My favorite food is pie. Specifically steak and ale pie. Love steak and ale. And chicken. Chicken's quite nice as well. How old am I? I'm 25. Pie isn't a food. Okay, good one. Good one. What's my name? My name is Saul. What's my favourite country to play? You've gotten me saying country all the time now. What's my favourite music to play on the piano was the actual question there. My favourite piece of music to play on the piano at the minute is the Train Chase from Wallace and Gromit, The Wrong Trousers. I actually played it on my channel recently. If you want to go and check out the video, I am dressed as Wallace in that video, so you can't miss it. How do you say your name? Saul. Saul. Like Paul, but with an S. Like, you know, Better Call Saul? Like that. Love a bit of Wallace and Gromit. Me too. I'm so excited. They recently announced the next Wallace and Gromit film that's coming up this December. And Feathers McGraw, the villain from The Wrong Trousers, he's back. He's out of prison. So I'm really looking forward to that. Big fan of Aardman in general, Wallace and Gromit, Chicken Run, you know, so on and so forth. They're all great. That is one hell of an Adam's apple. I'm not buying it. Once again, there is a trans pride flag there. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. So when you say you're not buying it, it's not like I'm hiding anything in the first place. And yes, I do have quite a prominent Adam's apple. Thank you for noticing. What are my pronouns? She and her. Thank you for asking. Have I had any surgeries? No. You should get your ears pierced. I'm not really fussed about getting pierced ears, to be honest. It's not something that I really plan on doing. I like earrings. You know, there are some nice earrings out there, but I just don't really. I'm not really bothered enough about them to actually go and get it done. So. Do I have a joystick? Yeah, my Logitech controller here has actually got two of them. And there's also two on my steering wheel. So that's four joysticks total. Do I have an Xbox? No, I am a PC player. Imagine having a Logitech. There's nothing wrong with Logitech. It's I've had that controller for years and it's never gone wrong for me. Do I play Farming Sim? Yes, I do. As you can tell from the steering wheel, I play a lot of simulator games, Euro Truck and Farming Sim in particular. I'm a big fan of. I've actually got quite a long-standing experience of being on farms. My granddad used to work on a farm, and when I was a kid, he used to take me with him every weekend. We'd be up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. We'd go out to the farm. We'd do whatever job needed doing. You know, spreading lime, cultivating, mowing, whatever it was. It was really, you know, some of my strongest childhood memories are of going to work with him on the farm. It was really great. Wouldn't be allowed to do it now because of health and safety, obviously, and you know, rightly so. It was a very dangerous place. But yeah, my entire childhood, I grew up around farms, so that's why I have such a great interest in farming in general. And I actually, when I finished secondary school, I was actually considering going to agricultural college, um, and then I ended up doing game design, which is a wildly different career path. But it was, you know, I was really not sure what I wanted to do with myself because I had these so many vastly different interests, um, and it could have gone differently. I could have ended up, you know, going to agricultural college and learning how to actually be a proper farmer. Um, but I went the other way. I went and got a degree in computer science instead and learned how to develop video games. So, yeah, it's crazy to think about how different things could have been if it had gone the other way. How old am I? I am 25. What's my favourite tractor? Now, there's a question. I love the Cat Challenger, the original Challenger. Just any tractor with tracks, really, but the Challenger especially, really cool. I remember, you know, at the farm that my granddad worked on, he always drove the same tractor. He had a New Holland T4, I believe, and later swapped it out for a Case Puma. So those were the only tractors that I ever really got to go in. But there was this one. There was a Challenger on the farm, and I used to always be looking out for it driving around. I was always looking out for that tractor because I absolutely loved that tractor in particular. Rip Grandad, yeah, Rip Grandad. He died about 4 years ago, so I had a little drink of famous grouse for him last night because he liked his whiskey. So yesterday, obviously being Father's Day, I had a little bit of a drink of whiskey for Grandad. What's my favourite animal? My favourite animal is the stoat. If you're not aware of the stoat, it's a bit like a weasel. Do I play with that wheel on ETS2? Yes, I do. I've actually got the side panel as well, if I bring the camera around here a bit. I've actually got the side panel too, as well as a beacon light. And down below, I've got foot pedals. And I do play quite a lot of Euro Truck with the wheel. What gender? I am a woman, trans woman. Have I got a Corey? Yes. I'm not going to show it to you. What's my favourite truck? Hmm. The thing is, I don't know as much about trucks as I do about tractors. I do enjoy driving trucks, but compared to tractors, I don't really know too much. The truck that I have the most hours in on Euro Truck is Scania, but I can't honestly can't for the life of me remember the make. Is my hair natural? It looks so shiny. Yes, this is my natural hair. I've been growing it for about 3.5 years. Are those chebs real? These are not real, no, these are padding. But one day they will be real. As soon as I get that estrogen, I'm gonna get that estrogen in me, and then they'll become real. How can they be? What do you mean? How can they be real? If you take estrogen, you grow boobs. That's how it works. What does your chest look like? Very flat, actually. Without the padding, it's very skinny. I am underweight, so you can see all my ribs. It's not very pleasant. But I have a very fast metabolism and don't put weight on very easily. So what's my favourite name on planet Earth? Probably my name, Saul, which is why I kept it when I came out. Will I get a girl voice? Eventually, yes, with voice training. Do I watch Coronation Street or Hollyoaks? So I'm not big on soaps, but obviously my mum in particular is, and I grew up watching Coronation Street, Emmerdale, and EastEnders, the big three. And she still watches them now. I obviously don't really care that much about soaps, but you know, I'm aware of them. Are they real? No. Do I have a stick? Yes. Can I say hi, Meadow and Brody? Hi, Meadow and Brody. How are you doing? Am I trans, if you don't mind me asking? Yes, I am. Bro's parents are not proud. Yes, they are. I visited my dad yesterday. I visit him and my stepmom every week. My parents are very supportive of who I am. Are yours? Do I use a different voice? At the minute, no. So, as I've mentioned already, um, I I am not voice training at the minute, but I do have a grasp of like the theory behind it, and I do vocal exercises and warm ups and stuff. But at the minute, this is the voice I'm stuck with. Queer says Mickey08. Yes, I am part of the queer community. Um, I don't really consider that word a slur. You know, like a lot of other people in the queer community, I feel that the word has been sufficiently reclaimed, and I am happy to call myself queer. Yes. What does queer mean? So queer basically just means any part of the LGBTQIA plus community. It was previously used as a derogatory term for the community, but it's sort of been reclaimed over the last few years. And some people obviously are still uncomfortable with using it, but I personally and a lot of other queer people are happy to use that word to refer to the larger community. How far with surgery am I? So I haven't actually had any surgery, and I don't actually plan on having any surgery either. The results that I want can be achieved solely through hormone therapy. My voice can be changed with voice training, and I don't have dysphoria in the downstairs department, so I don't really plan on having any surgery at all. Don't get surgery, please. It's irreversible with lots of side effects. So, as I've just said, I'm not getting surgery, but even if I was, that wouldn't be a problem. We're talking about something that is, you know, done by medical professionals that have had years and years of practice. any operation can go wrong, but people still have operations, right? If you've got appendicitis, do you say, actually, I'll keep my appendix in because the operation might go wrong, right? It's just a very stupid way of thinking. Is like, oh, I don't want to do that just in case it goes wrong. There's risk in everything. But as I say, it doesn't really apply to me anyway because I'm not getting any surgery. Do my family support you? Yes, they do. I have an incredibly supportive family. Do I believe in God? I personally am not religious. I do have religious people in my family. My uncle is probably the closest relative to mine who is religious. And yeah, he also accepts me. So, religion is not really any excuse to be a hateful person. Let God in your life, it would save you. Once again, I know religious people who accept me for being trans. Religion and trans acceptance are not mutually exclusive. You can be religious and still accept trans people, and many religious people do. I love your hair, thank you very much. It's been growing for 3 years, and it is my natural hair, yes. What's my name? My name is Saul, Saul. Love everyone as I loved you, Jesus. Thank you, Corey, for the quote. Exactly. That's my attitude anyway. As I say, I'm not a religious person, but I do know that one of the fundamental principles of Christianity is that you are not supposed to judge other people at all. So, you know, anyone commenting you need to find God is just going against their own religion on a fundamental level, really. And like I say, although I'm not religious, I did grow up going to a UK primary school where religion is pretty much heavily forced upon you, so I know enough about religion to know that transphobia is not an inherently Christian thing to do. Yeah, to be fair, it's not. It's hard to find a non-religious primary school. Yeah, in the UK in particular, the vast majority of primary schools are quite heavily religious leaning. The head teacher of my primary school was actually a Jehovah's Witness. Um, we sang hymns in assembly, all that kind of stuff, But again, that's just a standard thing in the UK. Schools are very religious places, which is so bizarre to me, but I guess we are a historically Christian country. You were playing games 2 seconds ago. I was playing Portal 2, yes, about an hour ago, but I finished playing that for today. Why is being religious bizarre? I did not say that being religious is bizarre. I said it's bizarre that one specific religion is like dominant in our schools because in this country we have freedom of religion. People can be whatever religion they choose to be, so it's bizarre that one particular religion is almost ubiquitous in our schools. That's the bizarre thing, not the existence of religion itself. What's my favourite food? My favourite food is pie. Thank you for asking. My favourite colour is green. I like a nice dark sort of royal green. Sorry about that. Can I play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on the piano? I probably could. I don't think it's really an interested enough song to warrant being played on a video, but I could certainly play it. Just trying to adjust my phone a little bit, get a better camera angle. Can I sing Happy Birthday, Simon? I can say Happy Birthday, Simon, but I'm not going to sing it. Happy Birthday, Simon. And no, I can't play the piano on stream right now because I'm in my bedroom and my piano is downstairs. Can I say happy birthday, Jake? I think that was a typo, but happy birthday, Jake. Can I play Bob Marley on piano? I don't actually know any Bob Marley on the piano, no. There's a couple of Bob Marley songs that I'd quite like to learn, though. Three Little Birds? Is it called Three Little Birds or just Three Birds? You know the one that I mean. Fantastic song. I'd love to play that one in particular. Do I like Ford tractors? Yeah, I do. I quite like Ford. Ford's alright. Am I ill? I've got a little bit of a cold. You might be able to hear my voice might be a little bit more nasally than usual, but apart from that, no, I'm pretty good. What car do you have? I don't have a car. I can't drive. And I don't really plan on driving because it's just too expensive. Favourite dessert is cheesecake. I love cheesecake. Lemon cheesecake in particular is my favourite. Why can't you drive? Because I didn't learn how to drive. Do I know any Taylor Swift songs on the piano? Also, no. I'm not a massive Taylor Swift fan, to be honest. Not got anything against her. It's just not really my kind of music. Favourite song? My favourite song ever is actually Without You by Badfinger. It's been covered by quite a few people as well, but Badfinger is the original. I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing particularly special, but you know that song for some reason, I just like it. Have I heard of autogynephilia? Yes, I have. I frequently get it commented in my comment sections on my videos. I'm fully aware of the whole John Money situation and the widely debunked theory of autogynephilia, but feel free to go off about it. Do I know Harry Styles songs on piano? Again, not really massively into Harry Styles. I'm just not a huge fan of pop music in general, to be honest. I do know a couple of pop songs on piano, but I'm not massively into pop, generally speaking. You have a little bit of an accent, someone commented. Yes, I do have a South Yorkshire accent that you might recognise. So I do live in South Yorkshire, and if you do hear the accent, that's what that is. Have I ever been bullied? No, not particularly. Did I cut it off? No, still there. Hope you're having a nice day. Thank you, Cheesy Garlic Bread. I am having a nice day. What is my name? My name is Saul. What was my college? I went to Bath Spa University in Bath in Somerset. Better Call Saul. Yes, it is the same Saul as in Better Call Saul. That's not where the name came from, obviously. I was born quite a few years before that. How come I don't plan on having surgery? I don't think that I need it. Um, the thing is, like most of the results that I want, which is basically just bigger breasts and a slightly more feminine face shape, I can get that through hormones, so no surgery necessary. My voice, I can do voice training, so there's no surgery necessary there, and I don't have bottom dysphoria, so I'm quite happy to keep the equipment that I was born with in that department. What was my name before I transitioned? Saul. So Saul is actually my birth name. It is the name that I was given when I was born. Um, my dad, big fan of Guns N' Roses, and he called me Saul after Slash, the lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses, whose real name is Saul Hudson. And when I came out, I decided to keep that name because I liked it. What do I do for work? So at the moment, I am between jobs. My most recent job was a graphic designer in a print shop, designing leaflets, posters, business cards, and stuff like that for like local businesses. That was really fun, and it was something that I was really good at. Unfortunately, I did have to give it up not too long ago because it was too far away to commute, and it was not the kind of job that could be done remotely. But yeah, that was my most recent work experience, and it's not necessarily the field that I'm interested in because I'm more interested in game design. But graphic design is kind of adjacent to game design, and it was very fun. I'm a big fan of graphic design as well. How old am I? I am 25. How did my parents take it when they came out? When I came out, they took it very well. It was to the thing is like they always kind of knew, uh, which is bizarre to me because I didn't know. But when I came out to my stepmom, my dad, and my mum, all of them said like, "Oh, we always kind of knew," and I was sat there in confusion, like, how? I didn't even know. Um, but I guess parents see things that you don't. They kind of saw something in me that I myself hadn't realised until later on in life. So it's just a really strange feeling to think that someone could know something like that before you even do. Um, but that's not to say that they forced me into it or anything like that. They allowed me to come out at my own pace. There was no sort of they didn't sit me down and say, Saul, you're trans, we already know. Like, it wasn't like that. Um, but, they let me work it out at my own pace, but they always kind of suspected it, even before I did. I see split ends in your hair. Okay, yep, I do have a few split ends. Sorry. Sorry, I don't have the most perfect hair in the world. It is what it is. Would I like to have children in the future? Yes, I would. I do actually plan on having kids at some point in the future. I don't think I'm quite ready just yet. I think maybe I'd like to wait until I'm 30 at least. But I definitely do want to have my own kids. How would I have kids? Genuine question. By having sex with somebody who is capable of getting pregnant. Simple as that. Joey Boy asks, transgender? Question mark. Yes. I thought you liked men though. I like everyone. I am pansexual, so. So you'd be a father or a mother. So if I had kids, they would, hopefully call me mother. What age did I come out as transgender? I came out at the age of 22, 3 years ago. That would be confusing for the poor kids. So I actually have a nephew. He's 2 years old, and he calls me his auntie, and he is not confused about it in the slightest. I'm just his auntie, and that's how it is. Do I play sports? I am quite an athletic person, but I don't play sports. I prefer to do solo activities like walking and cycling, that kind of stuff. Japan map? Yes, that is a map of Japan behind me. People forget that people learn to be bigots as they get older. Kids tend to be very understanding. Absolutely right. I think that's why people say, oh, you're indoctrinating the kids. It's not that. It's just that children actually just understand things better than adults in many cases. A kid sees me and I tell the kid I'm a woman, and the kid is just okay with that. It's only adults who, for some reason, struggle with that kind of stuff. It's not indoctrination. It's just that children happen to be more open-minded than adults. Because that closed-mindedness is something that you get taught. No, impressionable isn't the word I'd use. I think, if anything, the impressionable people are the people who get told, oh, trans people are evil and they're trying to indoctrinate your kids, and they just believe that without questioning it at all. The real impressionable people are the people who fall into that rabbit hole of transphobia. Am I in a school? I'm in my bedroom. So no, not a school. What was I born as? I was born as a baby. Are those real? No. You're very handsome. Thank you, Jamie. Do my parents agree with my choice? Yes, they do. Would you do speech therapy? I do intend to do voice training, yes. What are my pronouns? She and her. Thank you for asking. Children are so much more accepting. They learn from their peers. Exactly. As I've said already, hate is taught. People people are not inherently distrustful of others. People don't inherently dislike other groups of people. That's taught. You are told to dislike me because I'm trans. It's as simple as that. And all bigotry is the same. Racism, homophobia, sexism. It's just people being told that they should dislike this group of people. You know, it's not an innate thing that you dislike people. Your dad must be proud. Yes, he is. I went to visit him yesterday, actually. You're very talented at piano. Thank you, Gracie. Science is science, says Lewis. Yes, science is science, and science supports the existence of trans people. I agree. Hope you are okay. I'm fine, thank you. You seem so unhappy. Do I? Do I actually? That kind of seems like projection because I think most people here would agree that I'm actually pretty happy at the moment. If you're seeing any unhappiness, I think maybe you might want to take a closer look at yourself. It's Alan says you're a lot more chill than I would be. You just get used to it. Um, I don't let comments, I don't let negative comments or troll comments or spam comments bother me, um, because at the end of the day, I know exactly why people leave those kinds of comments, and if anything, I feel bad for them more than myself. Why do they leave bad comments? Most because they've got nothing better to do. Because they dislike me existing as a trans person, despite the fact that I'm doing literally nothing to affect their lives in any way. Um, you know, it just is what it is. People see me being happy, and I think most of the time it's people who are genuinely unhappy in themselves. I mentioned the word projection earlier. I genuinely think that 90% of the people who leave negative comments, they see me being happy and it reminds them that they are unhappy and they don't like that I'm happy and they're not. So they leave negative comments. That's by and large, I think, the vast majority of hate comments come from that kind of place. Unhappiness breeds unhappiness. Exactly. People who are unhappy say nasty things to other people because they don't want them to be happy. Misery loves company, as they say. Guy thinks he knows a lot about people that he's never met in his life. That's funny because you think you know a lot about me despite never meeting me in my life. So, once again, projection. Transgenderism is a fairly new concept. It takes time to adapt. Transgenderism is not a new concept at all. Trans people have existed for as long as the human race has existed. And even the more modern concept of transgender has existed for about 100 years. The earliest sex changes were way back in the 20s and 30s, like the 1920s and 30s. So if you want to use the modern definition of trans, at least 100 years. If you want to broaden that definition slightly to include gender nonconformity, 50,000 years. Doubt it? Well, you're not a historian, Mike, so how would you know? Shock, it's got a Red Bull. Yes, I am drinking Red Bull. That's my drink of choice today. Am I a historian? No, I'm not a historian, but I listen to historians. That's the difference. Just like I'm not a scientist, but I listen to what science has to say about trans people, right? Same with history. I'm not a historian myself, but I am aware of the fact that history supports the existence of trans people for thousands and thousands of years. You don't have to be an expert in something to know about it. But generally speaking, the people who make uneducated comments about history and science and biology and whatever else they want to make ignorant comments about have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. So is transvestite people in history the same as transgender people nowadays? To an extent, yes. So transvestite is not really a word that's used or favoured very much anymore, but it's essentially the same thing. A lot of people that historically would have been called transvestites would be called transgender by today's understanding, but some of them would be called crossdressers instead, which is something distinct from transness. Transvestite was just sort of a catch-all word that was used back in the day, and again, it's not used today, at least not by polite society. But yeah, some people that were previously called transvestites would be transgender by today's standards. It says on Google, first sex change surgery was 1959 to 1960, and the technique was discovered in 1938. Yeah, so almost 100 years ago. And actually, the Institute for Sexual Research in Germany, which I'm sure you may or may not have heard about, it was quite big recently on Twitter. There was a whole discussion about trans people being targeted by the Holocaust. I'm not going to get into that discussion today, but I do want to say that there was an institute for sexology in Germany in the 1920s. They specifically did research into trans people, and almost all of that research was burned by the Nazis. So that's all I have to say about that. How did I get the balloons? These are padded, so. Crazy how it feels new when it's been around for quite a while. Yeah, so the thing is, it feels like a recent thing because recently we've just been targeted, right? Like, it feels like suddenly trans people are everywhere because the media has, in the last few years, decided to concentrate so heavily on trans people, right? Like, we were here before, we just weren't being talked about. And now, because we're being talked about, because we're being singled out and specifically chosen to be the punching bag for the media, it makes it seem like there's a lot more trans people than there actually are. Can I identify as a toaster, and would you have to accept me? So a toaster is not actually a human being. This might be a difficult concept for you, but men and women are both human, whereas a toaster is not human. So no, you can't identify as a toaster. What about furries then? We've already had this discussion about half an hour ago. Furries do not identify as animals. That is a myth. Furries dress up as animals. That's it. Also crazy seeing people all over who had to fight for rights are unhelpful when someone else has to. Yeah, it's classic, Uncle Tom, I think, is the word for it. The kind of people who they've got their privilege and they pull the ladder up behind them so other people can't get it. It's very strong in the queer community. There are a lot of gay people out there, a lot of LGB people who want to separate from the T, and we don't want to associate with them. We've got our rights now. You can sort yourselves out. It's a very unfortunate attitude, which a lot of people in the community have. There isn't really much that can be done about it. It's just bigotry in another form. But it kind of feels like very much, you've got yourself to safety, now you want to hold on to that safety by not letting anybody else get there. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of feel it goes down. Okay, so the comment section has just devolved into the same overused joke of I identify as XYZ. So I think I can probably say we are at the end of the questions for today. We've been going nearly 3 hours anyway, so I am going to draw things to a close now. Thank you all so much for joining me today. It's been an incredible stream. I hope you enjoyed Portal 2 earlier on, and I hope you've enjoyed this Q&A as well. As always, before I finish up, I just want to say, you know, if you are interested in moderating for me, then please drop me a DM. People do message throughout the stream offering to do that, but I don't necessarily see those messages. So if it is something you want to do, please send me a message directly, and I can add you as a moderator, and you can help me, you know, clean up the comments in the next stream. I also wanted to talk a bit more about another matter, but I think we'll have to leave that for Wednesday because we've already kind of come to the end of our stream for today. But yeah, it's been a good one. It's been fun. It's been a quite laid back and relaxed one, but hopefully you've all had a good time, and thank you for all of your wonderful questions. Thank you for commenting whatever crap you can come up with to the trolls out there. You know, the comments are still coming in. Someone has just commented some jawline that. Yeah, I do have a very defined jaw. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, you got to take the rough with the smooth. For every nice comment I get 5 other comments saying hello, sir, and yeah, it is what it is. But we'll call it a day there. It's been very fun. I've really enjoyed myself. We have been going for nearly 3 hours, so I am going to take a much needed break. There will be another video tomorrow at the usual time, and my next stream will be on Wednesday, where I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing yet. I might do another gaming session, I don't know. I might talk about something else, maybe one of my other hobbies that I haven't spoken about yet. We'll see how it goes, but as always there will be a Q&A as well in the second half, so feel free to come along for that. If you want to keep up to date on when I post and when I stream, then obviously consider following, and yeah, that's it. So thank you all again, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.